This is part two of the final part of this video on repairing a Postman's clock. Uh, this particular clock, like I said, my estimate is made between 1850 and 1880. And the reason why I say that is because the time and strike are in line with each other, where later they were side by side. So stick around, grab something to eat, grab something to drink, grab a cigarette, and let's get started on part two of me repairing this Postman's clock. Trying to sort out the bell. I saw this on one of my group pages where a guy put some wire in the hole. And the theory behind this is that the threads are going to grab a hold of the wire and conform to the wood and tighten up. So we're fixing to find out whether it works. It's tighter, but it's not tight enough for me. So I'm going to go one step further. And I'm going to tape that wire to this post, and hopefully it works. Because you see me in other videos where I put tape around the threads and that tightened it up. But in a case like this, I think they should have used a nut on the other end. They should have drilled all the way through and used a nut. And I might end up having to do that. Really need two hands. I don't know if this is going to work or not. The tape is not binding to the threads. It is tighter. Would that wake you up? I'll put it on the table and see what it does. Like I said, it is louder. Now to put the rest of this clock together. I'm looking for the hole that this wheel goes into. That holds this wheel on, sorry. I think the hole is filled up with something. There we go. Gotta find the pin. Now I had to take the nut off this post, and I also got to put a washer on top of this pin. But before I do all that, this has to go down, and then this has to go down. And I want to see if the hands are going to turn. Which they do. And somehow my hand got bent, so I need to straighten it out. Hopefully I won't break it. But before I go any further, I want to see if my hands are going to turn. So I need to add a chain and a weight to see if the minute hand is going to turn. There you can see the position of the minute hand, just a little past 12 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and talk. I put the clock and beat the same way I do a cuckoo clock. I look at the pendulum leader wire, and if the pendulum quits ticking away, if the leader wire is touching the right side of the foot, and then I move the foot to the right. If it's touching the left side of the foot, I move the foot to the left. And here you can see the hand is turning. So it's time to put the rest of the clock together. I'm still not a big fan of this bell situation. And you can't drill a hole all the way through because where it winds up is on top of the burge and crutch assembly system. So a lot of people are not big fans of what I'm fixing to do, but I'm not a fan of this bell. So super glue, baking soda. Super glue, baking soda. It's tightening up. I'm just trying to get everything in there is the issue. And then now I have to put the bell in, the hammer. It would have worked, except for I loosened the bell in the process of trying to figure out what to do. Now the gong's in the way. I think it sounds fairly decent myself. The bell is tighter than what it was. And now I have to clean all this baking soda off. Because, when you do that method, you get it all over the place. And I forgot to oil the pivots, so I'm going to do that now. A toothpick dipping in the oil works really well. And you could break the toothpick to get the hard to reach spots. Putting some on the entry and exit pallets of the birch. And I'm not going to put the dial on until I check out the alarm system. Now, trying to figure it out. Got the hands on backwards, first of all. This is an automatic system. You just got to figure out where to put the hand. When I say it's automatic, there's a notch in that alarm system. And so you have to figure out where the alarm would be when the dial is on. Because if you remember reading the instructions, right now the alarm is set. And so if you remember reading the instructions, it said it would be wherever this piece right here is. And so I could say it's at 3 o'clock or 6 o'clock or whatever. I just got to figure out how to put the hands on. Per the conversation I had with Valentin Weber, this is the time and this is the strike. It's right behind the strike and not to the side. So that means it's older. So I'm guessing this clock was made between 1850 and 1880. If it had rope, it would be before 1850. Now, I read the instructions on the alarm to you, and the instructions basically lie. Because modern day clocks would say at 7 o'clock a.m., and you want your alarm to go off at 6 a.m., let's say at 7 p.m., and you want it to go off at 6 a.m., you would set the dial to 6, and at 6 a.m., it's going to go off. Well, not with this clock. This clock is just like an antique American clock with alarm. It's more of a timer than it is an alarm, because I want to show you something. Right now it's at 7 o'clock. Right now the lever is dropped into the notch, which causes the alarm to go off. But let's say I want to set the clock to go off you have to go by this dial right here, and you have to turn it clockwise. Let's say I want it to go off in 2 hours. So you turn this dial until it hits the number 2. Like I said, it's 7 o'clock right now. So we're going to rotate the hands. And it's not completely accurate. There, it went off in a half an hour. It might be this notch is cut short or something. But it's more of an alarm, of a timer than it is an alarm. So let's say I'm going to turn this thing to 9. And let's say I want it to go off in 5 hours. So I set this thing at 5 o'clock. And again, it's not that accurate. So, and if I was to move this, it's going to change the time frame that I want it to go off. So anyway, it's at 9 o'clock. So there's 10. And it went off in 2 hours. I might have to adjust it more to figure out, to get it more accurate. So that's what I'm going to mess with now. But again, it's not your typical alarm system of today. It's a timer system. The reason why I say it's a timer system, right now, it's at 6 o'clock. It's in the system. I have it pointed at the 12, that means in 12 hours it's going to go off again. So here we go. As long as the hour hand doesn't touch the minute hand, we'll be fine. Four o'clock, 5 o'clock, and it's almost ready to go off. 5:30, 10 minutes till 6, it goes off. So, I'm going to do that again. To see if I can get it more accurate. To 6 o'clock. And again, I had it set for 12 hours. Meaning a timer there's 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So I got it more accurate that time. So anyway, it's a timer system. So let's say it's 6 o'clock now, and I want it to go off in 3 hours. I got it pointed at 3. At 6 o'clock, that means at 9 o'clock, it's going to go off. There's 7, 8, 10 minutes till 9. I'm going to see if I can mess with it some more. But anyway, y'all get the drift. It's a timer system. And to put these hands on, the hands were wrong in the first place. You got this piece right here. It's just like a Herbert Hurd movement. You got this piece right here that you put the hour hand on, and then you put the hour hand on so it's on the square piece, and you have to adjust this piece, this washer here, to ensure it's on the, not washer, but nut, to ensure this hour hand is on the square arbor. And then you would put a convex washer down over the top of the hour hand, and then you would put the last nut on. And this last nut, the threads are kind of buggered up, so I'm trying to get it to where the point is, if the threads weren't buggered up, you would tighten the nut down until the hour hand, the minute hand, and the hour hand has got separation. And so I have to figure out how to do that with buggered up threads. I think if I add another small washer, then the nut, and that will keep the minute hand away from the hour hand. Because if you put it down the way they had it, as the minute hand rotates, it's going to catch the hour hand. Her movements are designed the same way. They have a nut that you screw down after the hour hand, and you only put it down enough to add the minute hand, and then washers, and then a nut. Here I added the hour hand, and then the nut, and then the minute hand, and then a washer, and then a convex washer, and then this screwed up nut. I'm sorry. Let's try this again. Here I added the hour hand, and then that nut that I was telling you about, that you only put it down so far to add the minute hand, and then I added a washer, and then a convex washer, and then the screwed up nut, and now the hand is nice and tight. It might be too tight, and I might have to loosen it. So now I need to go put a weight on and see if the minute hand moves. To be annoying, here's 12 o'clock, and I'm going to move this clockwise so it stopped. Okay, so it's 12 o'clock, and we're going to set it for to go off at 12, but now I'm going to rotate the hands. So now it's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. You got a 2-hour time span there that seems like it continues to ring. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Remember, we started at 12, and it's a timer. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. You see where the wire is compared to the notch? 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. So let's say I want to set it for let's say I want to set it for I don't know. It's 12 o'clock and I want to set it for to go off in 1 hour. And it's not going to go off in 1 hour because I have to set all this back up since I changed the hands out. So stand by. Okay, it's 11 o'clock, and let's say I want it to go off in 5 hours. I had to change the minute hand around, but let's say it's 5:30 and I want it to go off in 4 hours. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it was 4:30. 5. Which that's annoying as all get out. Let's say it's 10:30, and I want it to go off in you can't go. I want it to go off in 4 hours. Can't do that because there's too wide of a gap in here. I think part of the arm might be missing, but anyway, let's say it's 5 o'clock and I want it to go off. I got it set to go off in 5 hours. So at 10 o'clock it should go off or thereabouts. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, quarter to 11. But anyway, I hope y'all get the drift. Now, with all those adjustments out of the way, I have to take the hands and the alarm off just so I can put the dial on. So it's almost 11 o'clock on here. So maybe I can remember that. And this alarm has to go off because it fits inside the dial. And so putting the dial on first, you gotta make sure you get the dial on correctly, Mark. Remember, there's the 2 hooks on the side. This hook and the other hook on the other side is what holds the dial on. Now we have to put the alarm system on. Now the hour hand. washer that I told you goes down so far. To catch the minute hand. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit because it only has to, the minute hand only has to go on the arbor. On the square arbor, which it is now. Then I put that washer on, and then this concave washer that I made, and then this nut here. If that nut is too tight, the minute hand, the clock won't tick. Next step is to put the doors on. And I don't remember which maybe this one went over here. Which I think it does. Maybe. Maybe not. Let me see, there's 1, 2, 3 posts there. I guess it don't really matter. I would think that the instructions would be outside so you could read them though. So I'm thinking that this one goes maybe not. I think I might have to look at my pictures. I guess I had it right in the first place. Why they wouldn't want to put the instructions on the outside makes no sense to me. Well, there we go. I do have the original pendulum that comes with it, which is right here. Time for me to hang it up and test it out. What do y'all think? I hope you enjoyed this video. Here we have it ticking away. Sounds okay, but it's a Postman's clock made between, I'm estimating, 1850 and 1880. The clock has been ticking away for about 2 hours now, so I think I got it in beat. I need to adjust the pendulum bob, but it is ticking away, so we did a great job. I hope everybody enjoyed this video on me repairing a Postman's clock. Like I said, the clock was made, I'm estimating, but I'm going to ask my friend Valentin Weber, but I'm thinking it was made between 1850 and 1880. Because the time side and the strike side are directly in correlation with each other, the time side is in front of the strike side train. Later on with Cuckoo clocks, they put them beside each other. So if it had the rope system, it would have been made before 1850, but because it has chains and there's no indication that the chains replace the ropes on this clock, I do have a clock that it used to have ropes, but they put chains on it. So it was made before 1850. It's that shield clock that the shield keeps breaking on me. But that's fine because I only paid $40 for the clock. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me some comments, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button because it's free to do so, and stay tuned for the next video. I don't know what we're going to do yet, but I will make it interesting. Until next time, may God bless each and every one of you.